Hi, and welcome to your initiation ice bath sequence. I will take 25 minutes, 30 minutes to explain everything about this experience and about cold water immersion. Okay, so before we start, I will introduce myself. My name is Yoko. I've been practicing yoga for 24, 25 years now. I'm teaching yoga for more than 11 years. And I practice in ice baths for more than 4 years. Also into my background, I've been a nurse assistant in an ER in Geneva Hospital for more than 16 years. Okay, this is for my background. Okay. I developed a specific technique for the cold water immersion. Before to go there, we need to understand what is cold water immersion. So the cold water immersion, it's a big family. Into this family, there is different type. We have the cold shower, we have the winter swimmer. We go to swim into the cold lake, the cold river, the cold sea. We have the ice bath. This is what we go to do today. There's also the cryotherapy. So as you can see, there's a lot of things. It's when we start to expose the body to cold temperature, cold water. So it starts from everything under 10 degrees for the water. The cryotherapy, I will not speak about it because it's a little bit a different thing, but I just put into the cold water immersion, but it's not so much with water. Okay, now let's focus on what is with water. Okay. Into this family, the ice bath is one of the more strong experience because it offers a safe environment. We can drop the water to 3 degrees. Today we go to work with the water at 3 degrees. Sometimes it can be 2, but my protocol is based between 2 and 3 degrees. And because it's a safe environment, we can manage a low temperature. That's the difference with the cold water swimmer, the winter swimmer, who needs to work with the temperature a little bit more up to be safe. Okay, now let's just focus on this cold water immersion today. This experience is not about stay the longer possible into the cold water. This experience is about finding the tools to control your mind, your breath, and your body into a stressful situation. How we do this? First, what happened? Controlling the mind, it's probably the most difficult part. And it starts before you arrive to this. The moment you sign for this session, cold water immersion, for this ice bath, you have this little voice in your head who starts to find all the excuse about, I am unfit to do this, is it dangerous, do we have a heart attack, and blah, blah, blah. So this little voice will try to persuade you to, you're not able to do it, and create doubt. And what we want to do today is override this little voice. To override this little voice, we have different tools, but the most important tools is knowledge. That's why I will take the time here to explain you exactly the step-by-step of this experience, what you will feel, how it will work, and how your body mechanism is working. Like this, we create already a mental state of mind to understand. We start to stop, or we try to stop this little voice to persuade us to not do it. Okay. So I cut in 4 stages what happened to you when you enter into an ice bath. The first stage, I call the first stage I name the first stage adaptation. Adaptation. The second stage, it's sensitivity, to not say painful, so sensitivity. The third stage, it's comfort, when you enter into the comfort zone. And the fourth stage, it's determination. Determination. Okay, let's observe what happened during this fourth stage and how we can use at least 2 specific breathing techniques, a third one to go through, between 2 and 3 breathing techniques to go through this different stage. Okay. So the first stage is adaptation. To understand this stage, we need to understand at first how the body works. Your body, it's an incredible machine, and it stays all the time at 37.5 degrees, doesn't matter what. If it's cold winter, if it's very hot tropical weather, your body is always at 37.5, and it's very important and critical to stay at this temperature. So when you enter into an ice bath, your body will do everything to keep your body at 37.5 degrees. Okay, and which part of the body do this? It's primitive brains who specifically regulates the temperature. So the moment we enter into the cold water, we enter into a survival mode, and our primitive brain will take over to protect us and keep the body temperature at 37.5. For this, your body have different tools, and this first tools is to convince you to go out of the cold water. I mean, that's quite smart, okay? And for this, you have a very good tools. It will do everything to persuade you that dying, that's too painful and you can't handle. I mean, it will really, you remember the little voice I was speaking before, the moment you sang to this little voice will be so loud, and we have to override this, and we go to say, we want to stay. The moment we decide to stay, the body will keep working with the other tools that it have to protect the body. That means it will start to protect all the vital organs by sending all the warm blood, especially the blood from the extremity, to protect all the vital organs, to protect our heart, our brain, our lungs, liver, kidney, stomach, everywhere, and it's very important. It will concentrate the warm blood. So we will take this blood from the extremity. To do this, you need a lot of energy. That means your heartbeat will go faster because you need to move a lot of blood. Some people call this a mild tachycardia or tachycardia. It's the medical term when your heart goes faster. And because the heart goes faster, we need more oxygen. So your breath goes faster. And we can call this hyperventilation. So all these technical terms sometimes are what, I do tachycardia, what, hyperventilate. It's normal. We need to understand, that's why we take this time here, we need to understand this procedure is normal. Now, imagine you need to take the bus, and the bus is far from you, you need to run 100 meters and jump into the bus. Once you enter into the bus, after you run, if you check your heart is super fast. Okay, it's a tachycardia. And if you check your breath, it's super fast. Oh, it's a hyperventilation. It's normal. It's how the body reacts, okay, to improve your ability to adapt to the situation. So when we enter into the cold, it's very important to remember that the body is entered into a stage of adaptation, and we need to help the body to adapt. So what can we do to help the body to adapt faster? We can use a specific breathing technique, very simple, pranayama. Pranayama is a yogi name for the breathing technique, for the different breathing technique, and we go to see. This one is the basic one. I want you to inhale to the nose and exhale to the mouth. So there's 3 stages, 3 keys into this breathing technique. The first one is to alternate the breath from inhale to the nose and exhale to the mouth. The second one is to work with the full capacity of your lungs when you inhale and exhale. All day long, normally, all the time, when we breathe, we never use the full capacity of the lungs. We use, 20%, 30%. Sometimes you forget to breathe. I mean, not long, but we, especially when we do an effort, I have this in my yoga class, when people focus on the posture, suddenly they forget to stay with their breath. Don't forget to breathe at a small time. But yeah. So here into this second phase of this breathing technique, what we want is to help the body by working with the full capacity of the lungs as we inhale and exhale to bring more oxygen to help this adaptation mechanism. Once we manage these 2 first phases, so the alternate breath between the nose and the mouth, when we can work with the full capacity of the lungs on the inhale and exhale, we go to slow down the breath. So we keep the same quantity of air in and out, but we do it super slow. When you manage these 3 phases of this breathing technique, you are out of the stage 1 adaptation. That means, how are these 3 key stages? These 3 phases of this breathing technique are key, because alternate the inhale and exhale to the nose and the mouth. Either if your breath is very short, it's difficulty to breathe, but you manage to alternate nose to mouth, it's the proof that you are able to take back the control of your breath. So that's the first stage. When you take back the control of the breath, then you can start to extend the inhale and exhale. And by extending the inhale and exhale, we're sending more oxygen. And then when we slow down the breath, we calm down the heartbeat. We calm down our nerve system, calm down the body and the mind. So that's helping to complete the stage 1, it's adaptation. Now the stage 2, the stage 2 is sensitivity. Okay, let's be honest, it's painful. This experience, it's absolutely not comfortable. Enter into cold water is not something that most of people enjoy. Most of the time we are, oh, and we have this feeling because we push and we want this feeling, we want this reaction of cold shock. So we want to make believe our body that we are in an extreme situation and we're dying because it's entering into this survival mode. But when we provoke this, we also trigger wrong reactions to the pain. It's not wrong. Let's explain why it's so painful. As I explained before, the blood is retract from the extremities to protect all the vital organ. That leaves our nerve system much more alive, much more in contact to the cold than usual. So our nerve system, especially because we are into survival mode, amplify the sensation of the cold and send a very strong signal to our brain, and it's feel that, oh, terrible, then you're losing your fingers, and you're losing your toes, and then you're losing, it's bloody uncomfortable. So, what to do? Again, we got to use a breathing technique. But before to use this breathing technique, we need also to understand how pain is working. Pain, it can be very subjective. Example, we all have this experience. One time when we were kids, we play and run around into the bushes or whatever, and we have a little cut, we do a little scratch on the arm, on the leg. We don't see the scratch. But the moment we see the scratch, we feel the pain. And this is one of the perfect examples to explain how pain is connected with consciousness. The more we focus on the pains, the more the pain becomes big. It's like in our life. The more you focus on the problem, the bigger the problem looks. So the key to go out of the second stage is to not focusing on the pain. Quite easy to say when you are out of the water, but when you have your body under 2 or 3 degrees water, you have the water up to your shoulders into full immersion, it's difficult to think about something else. So we have this incredible tools that is our breath, and we go to focus on the breath. For this technique, we go to use the relaxing effects of the exhale. Now, this breathing technique, we keep working with alternate breath. So we take a deep and long inhale to the nose, holding the breath when you are into the water as long as it's comfortable. And when you exhale, you relax different part of the body. Let's try it together one time. Okay, at first, adjusting your back. Lovely. Now, take a deep and long inhale to the nose. Hold the breath. And with your next exhale, I want you to relax your shoulders. Exhale and relax the shoulders. Lovely. Inhale, long inhale, make sure to work with the full capacity of your lungs, holding the breath, and this time, hold, exhale, you relax the shoulders and the arms. Exhale, yes. Now, last one we do together, deep and long inhale to the nose, holding the breath, and this time, you're going to relax the shoulders, the arms, and the legs. Exhale and relax. Perfect. Now you can open your eyes. Okay, did you feel the relaxing effect of the exhale? Yes. This is our key out to detach from the pain. Why it's so important to detach from the pain? Because like we said before, the more you focus, the more you tense your body, the more you fight the cold, the harder it is. The more you can relax and let it go, the more you will ease the process. Okay, we're going to repeat this breathing technique together into the bath. I will breathing with you for 7 breaths. Good. And then we check after your first 7 breaths how you feel. Most of the time after the 7 breaths, for the beginner, we reach the 3 minutes and we will enter, that's the goal, into the comfort zone. What is the comfort zone? The comfort zone is when you can look at me and say, wow, Yoko, after all, it's not so cold. So the comfort zone, it's when your body, your minds have complete their survival action mode. That means they stabilize the warm blood around the vital organ, they stabilize the breath and the mind, and we can detach. I forget something before, and it's very important into the breathing technique that we saw where we holding the breath. Holding the breath after the inhale have a very powerful impact, because when you inhale the air and hold, you bring warm air. You bring warm air into the lungs. The lungs are around the heart. That's help the process to keep the body warm. Okay. By holding the breath, also, we slow down the rhythm of the breath. That's help to slow down the heartbeat. So we have these 2 factors that are very physically important to use. And with the exhale, like we say, we help to relax physically and mentally. So that's the way to coming out of our zone 2. Now, when we enter into the zone 3, oh guys, listening, there is no specific technique. Everyone is different. Here today, it's a unique experience for you. It's an opportunity to observe what technique is the best for you to go to fight against high stress. Okay, we all react differently with stress. Some people will scream, some people will cry, some people will laugh, some people will sing. Guys, you can do whatever you want. It's a free zone to explore what will make you feel better when you are into the ice bath. Explore, find what works for you. How we know that it's work for you? It's a good question. It's when you are able to relax. We want to fully let it go, and it's the comfort zone. That's when we can not only relax, we can detach of what happened mentally, of what happened to the body. Good. Then we enter into the stage 4, determination. Okay, this stage 4, it's when we do for the first time. Okay, the stage 4 is very short because the 3 first stage, the adaptations, the sensitivity stage, and the comfort are much more longer. But the more you practice, the more the stage 1 or stage 2 adaptation and pain come shorter. So you enter straight into the comfort zone, so it takes more time. So determination, we want to stay 6 minutes. Okay, why 6 minutes? Why I put a protocol at 6 minutes? Okay, let's understand what is behind. First, there is the physiological aspect. Your body, when you enter into a survival mode, will create different type of chemical to protect you. Sure, we have the first kick with the adrenaline, will boost, with the endorphin, will reduce the pain, but there is one specific cocktail that I want to target. It's your cold shock protein. That's where's the miracle. start. The cold shock protein, I will not do a full explanation, but this is a special cocktail that your liver produce and that will boost your immune system, that will boost the reproduction of the cell, that will protect the cell. This cocktail, there's different study about it, and it's incredible. Please go to see on my webpage all the things that the cold shock protein can do. For a quick example, there's this doctors in the UK, they make a study about the winter swimmer, and on this winter swimmer group, they realized that this have this enzyme, this protein inside their body that help to reduce or slow down Alzheimer or dementia. So now they try to synthesize this to make a medicine about this. That's a study you can see on my website too. Okay. So that's all this reaction that we have. We have also all the brown fat reaction will help to burn all the sugar that we have. I mean, there's so many things. Please go again on my website to see all this. I will not go for the detail. But to explain now the 6 minutes, we want to, for the cold shock protein, your liver will stop to produce after 5 minutes the cold shock protein. You have a maximum of what it can produce. For some people, it will stop by 4. For some people, it will stop by 6. So by targeting 6 minutes, we sure the liver have the time to do his work to give all the goodness from this cold shock protein. Also, that's for the physiologic part. Now, let's talk about the mental part, because there's a big part also here. The first minute and the second minute are a nightmare. Until you enter into the comfort zone, the experience looks like a terrible experience that you don't want to do again. So once you enter into the comfort zone, we have the time to bring this smile, this peaceful expression in your face, and to observe how powerful you are, how powerful is your body when you manage to control your mind and unlock your full capacity. And you will be into this bath, and we have the time to enjoy, embrace this moment. And that's what will also make you stronger, because you will keep a memory, and it's not only traumatic of the experience, but see the benefit. Good. That's our 6 minutes. Now listen, there is no minimum. There's a maximum, yes. The minimum is, listen, it's like I said at the beginning, it's not about stay longer into the cold. It's about controlling your mind. So we go to do a deal. Once you enter into the ice bath, if you want to go out, we do this procedure. You look at me and you say, Yoko, can I go out? And I will look at you back and say, are you sure you want to go out? Take one more breath. Take one more breath and think about it. And you take one more breath, think about it. Yes, I want to go out. Then you can go out. That's a winner. You keep the control of the decision. Remember the experience. We say this is this little voice who suddenly will say, oh, you can't take anymore, you go hard, you panic, and you enter into your panic mode. And it's not you taking the decision, it's this little voice. And this is exactly the goal of this experience, is to control this little voice. Good. Now, we see the fourth stage. Why we do 6 minutes. There's two more very important points. The first one is how to enter into the cold. So, again, the closer you will come to the plunge, to the ice bath, the louder your little voice in your head will be, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So, one of these couple of tools here, you can focus on where you're going. That's the position you go to sit inside the ice bath that will make the difference. So like this, you don't need to, if you picture how you go to sit, you don't need to think when you arrive close to the ice bath, because if you start to try to think, the little voice will take over, you cannot. So picture exactly where you go, that makes your mind stronger. You have a destination. Now, when you sit into the ice bath, sit on your bum, bring the knees close to the chest, as this. This posture will help you to adjust the level of the water. That means we want to have the water above the shoulder. So depending how you move your bum a little bit forward, you can lower the shoulders and bring the shoulders under the water. Second thing also with this position, as you bring the knees close to the chest, you can wrap your arms around your legs and keep the chest very close to your lap, so that keep warm. That's a nice protective posture here to keep warm into the cold. So let's make the experience a little bit more easy for the first time. Now, if you think the water is not cold enough, you can change the position, not really change the position, but instead to have your knees close to your chest, you can cross the legs, nice, and exposing your chest, your back, your arms, your hands to the cold. So this is the position into the cold. Now, one thing that is very, very important, it's the breath. When you enter into the ice bath, it's important that you exhale. You breathe out all the air, because your first reflex will be a gas reflex. So if you inhale and enter into the cold, then you have a gas reflex. Your lungs are full of air, and you will have this feeling to suffocate, and you don't want to be at this place and have the feeling to suffocate. So remember, very important first step is to exhale, then deep into the water. Okay. Now, when I say enter into the cold water, into the ice bath, you need to enter very fast. You can try to go slowly, but that should be so much painful. Listen, guys, the experience is uncomfortable. So let's go straight in, because if you go halfway or if you go slowly, every centimeter that you need to put of the body, every centimeter of the body that you need to put into the water will be so painful, so difficult. That's a hard work. So go straight down, water above your shoulder, done. Now, why the water above the shoulders? So there's Chinese medicine, there's an acupuncture point, acupuncture point on the bottom of your neck. That's to active your immune system. We want to active this Chinese medicine point under the neck, so we keep the neck. That's a good selling point. Huh? Good. And yes. About the head, for now, keep the head outside, especially when it's your first time. If you practice a couple of times and you can want to put your head into the water, you can do once you are comfortable with your breath and your mind. Good. That's to enter. Now, when you're coming out of the ice bath, I want you to do quick movements. With your legs, you're bending the legs, and with your arms, you're moving the arms from out to close and to close, and any movement. If you want to do push-up, you can do push-up, but for 1 minute 30 here, because we are into a tropical country, for 1 minute 30, you want to have this movement. Guys, if you are into a colder countries, okay, you have to extend the time of warming up after the ice baths. We want to reverse the action of protecting all these vital organs and send back the blood into the extremities. If you are into a cold weather, that will take more time, so much more movement. Cycling, you can run around really, and this can go up to 15 minutes at least, until your body starts to generate proper heat due to your movement. Okay, so here, because we are in Goa, into a tropical country, 1 minute 30 is enough. Good. Now, after the experience, I offer you a cup of tea. This cup of tea is very important, not only because it feels nice to drink something hot, but for your fingers. Now, let's speak about these fingers. When I practice, and when people practice for a while, we keep the hands inside the cord. For the people who do this for the first time, it can be very challenging because it's an extremity and the pain to the fingers are quite very intense. So if the pain in your hands is the reason that you're coming out of the ice bath, it's better to bring your hands out of the water, out of the game, and stay with the body into the water. Okay, like this your hand will stay warm, it's less painful, and it's more manageable, at least until you catch up with your breath and everything. And after, you can experiment to put sometime the hands in and out. Now, there's different way to put the hands into the water. The more comfortable is to bring the hands together, or you can bring your hands under the armpit. That's a nice place to keep the hands warm. Or you can bring the hands just under the knee if you have your legs bent, so your hand is just between the calf and your hamstrings as you bend the legs, and let's make a little bit more comfortable. That's for the hands, but remember, if the hands are too painful, especially the first time, just keep the hands outside. You can bring your hands in Namaste posture, or just leave the hands on the side. Okay, I think we see all the different points. I will guide you step by step into this experience. So what is very important, I want you to keep your eyes open when you enter into the cold. The first reflex that we have when we enter into the cold, or not into the cold, but when we are under into a panic mode, or when we are afraid, it's to close the eyes. If I come to you and say, boo, I try to afraid you, the first reflex, you will close the eyes. Closing, so we don't want to work with this reflex. The moment you enter into the cold water, I want you to open your eyes. We keep eyes contact together and we breathe together. Why to keep the eyes open, at least until we stabilize your breath? It's because eyes closed, you will be alone with this little voice. And this little voice will have full power to persuade you to coming out of the water. And we don't want this. Remember, the experience, it's about controlling the mind. If you control the mind, we can control the breath. If you control the breath, we can control the body. If you control the body, we unlock an infinity potential. Your body is incredibly powerful. So, let's try.